Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. RESPECT. You know what it means to me. No, I don't. Don't worry about it. We're just out here in the heart of nature, baby. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana. 10 secrets self-respecting people won't tell you. I get a lot of people writing into me saying that they don't feel loved in a relationship. Sometimes, just in general, they don't feel respected. People treat them bad. We ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? So I'm going to share with you what's helped me along my journey respect myself even more. Because there was a time when I was totally disrespectful towards myself. And you might be in that same position right now, and it hindered me becoming my greatest version. So I'm going to share with you these 10 secrets. You got to listen up very closely. Now, the first one, the trap I fell in of disrespecting myself, was that I was selling myself short. Are you selling yourself short today? I've been asked to star in certain films in Hollywood and stuff like this, but then when they show me the contract, I'm like, I don't want to be in a studio 7 days a week. I got to come into nature, baby. And they're like, oh, but take this, Ralph. And I'm like, I got a skateboard, so $1 million ain't really doing much for me. When you sell yourself short, which happens to so many of us, you forget your worth. And what's helped me along my journey is to say that, look, no amount of money can buy me out. Yes, I need money, but at the same time, I'll give you a story. I'm skating with a great friend a few years back, and she was telling me how, look, she's a lot older than me. She was saying this, you have this skill of skating, and certain millionaires can't even skate. Because I was asking her, if I was to give you $1 million, would you stop skating? And she's like, no, because this skill I have is even worth more than money. Slow motion this side. Worth more than money. Worth more than money. Whoa. Right? So we sell ourselves short. Sometimes you might apply to a job and think that's all you're worth. Right? So even if I was to pay you like 50, 100 an hour, that's still peanuts, right? It's a lot. You think it's a lot. Yeah, it is, but you are priceless. So what helped me along my journey was realizing that I have to never sell myself short. And a lot of us do this sometimes, even when we want to copy people. Like all my signatures, peace, I've had to come up with them by myself. And you feel like so much respect for yourself because you've done it. But if you go copying people, it would never feel as good. So don't sell yourself short. You're better than that. What's the second secret self-respecting people won't tell you? Now, I've spoken about the water relationship, which is the higher relationship, not ego-based, and the Coca-Cola relationship, which is the toxic relationship and ego-based. So people always write to me saying, I feel unloved in a relationship. And you see, a self-respecting person would never stay in a relationship they're not happy in. But wait a minute. I was in a relationship I wasn't happy in, and it's really hard. It's not easy. So what got me out of that? One simple secret. Who's to blame for me being here? Is it them or is it me? Because if you continue to stay in that relationship, you end up shifting the blame to somebody else. Self-respecting people take 100% responsibility for where they find themselves. Slow motion this side. 100% responsibility. Okay, we're back to normal speed. Right, so you are choosing to be in this relationship. Ain't got nothing to do with me. You got to recognize your power and realize you can be with someone who really loves you and appreciates you, really loves you and appreciates you the same way you do them. The third secret. Now, 7-Day Vegan Challenge, the world's largest, is crazy right now. I meet people on the street saying, yeah, I'm doing the 7-Day Vegan Challenge. I'm like, really? Word gets around. Now, you've seen that meme, okay? Little kid with an afro, and if you don't give this soda to your plants, why do you give it to this child? That's so powerful, right? You don't go and put like Coca-Cola in some plants, right, and expect them to grow. Yet we do that to our children, we do that to ourselves, and self-respecting people don't do that, right? They only put the highest quality food in them. I wrote down, a healthy outside starts with a healthy inside. Slow motion this side. A healthy outside starts with a healthy inside. And a lot of people are like, well, it doesn't really matter. And that's why you're on the toilet for like 5-6 hours. Of course it matters, because you want to be out in nature, right? So self-respecting people put the highest quality foods in their body. A lot of plant-based foods. And I never used to. I was no saint. Right? I used to like eat a lot of biscuits and French fries and all of this. And I realized that by eating that garbage, I felt like garbage. And I was even trash talking myself because I was eating foods which were, well, pretty trashy. When that all changed, try this smoothie out. Kale, wait for it. Pear, wait for it. Apple, oh my gosh. Chia seeds, oh my days. Hemp seeds, try it out today. And tell me if you don't respect yourself. RESPECT. Yeah, we are respecting ourselves. What's number 4? Now, I get it. A lot of us, we want people to put some respect on our name. We're like, if you don't respect me, I'm going to be very pissed off right now. Because everybody has to respect me. And then someone just like totally disrespects you. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's terrible. Right? So what helped me along my journey was to realize this. Instead of searching for respect externally, you got to start cultivating respect within yourself. And how I do this is I say, okay, even if I go back like 3 years, like even in 2013, this channel only had 27,000 subscribers. Right? So it's just jumped, right? How did that happen? But not even that, just seeing my own growth and inspiring millions of people, that's something to be so proud of. So you've got to note down what you are proud of, that you've achieved, where you've traveled to, where you went naked to. You went naked there? You cycled naked there? What? Crazy. Be proud of that, and that will help you respect yourself even more. Okay? It starts from within. You got to start focusing on what is working in your life as opposed to what isn't. Now, number 5, the 5th secret self-respecting people won't tell you, there are going to be arguments, heated debates, even with close family members. Oh no! Yeah, it's going to happen. Self-respecting people won't tell you that arguments are going to come up sometimes. Okay, there are going to be people along your journey who are going to distract you away from your true path. And it usually is those closest to you. So sometimes you got to fight for your dream, right? Self-respecting people know what I'm talking about. A lot of sacrifice, a lot of saying, no, I want to do this, right? When I graduated, I had my parents saying, go and work here, go and do this. And I'm like, I just want to stay in nature, right? And it was hard, right? Because they were like, what are you doing? You just spent all of this money studying somewhere, go and get a normal job. And I did, until I realized I was disrespecting myself because I was deviating away from my true life purpose and mission. So therefore, I said, okay, I got to fight for my dreams. And that meant sometimes you might have to hurt people's feelings, but you can never hurt somebody's feelings if you are living your true life purpose, because in the end, everybody benefits from it. Okay? So self-respecting people always fight for their dreams. And number 6 is that it's not easy, right? Self-respecting people are no saints. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And I've worked in all kinds of shitty jobs. I've been in very shitty circumstances sometimes. And I've been in the process of self-respecting myself, right? And it's been hard. But you see, sometimes self-respecting people might have to take a job which is just like making you feel terrible, if you know that's a gateway to better opportunities. Right? I had to be in the freezing cold and make videos, and you might say, oh, that's not self-respecting, but who's laughing now? Can I get a hello? We are creating abundance, baby, every single day. So for me, I realize sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? And that's okay too. It's not about being a perfect saint. Those kinds of people don't exist, right? So do what you got to do to go to the next level. Even sometimes you might have to disrespect yourself for a little bit to respect yourself in the end, right? It's what we call hard graft and labor. Get busy, get in the trenches, get your fingers dirty. Get them dirty, baby, right? Okay. What else? Number 7 is that you got to be vulnerable. Most people don't want to be vulnerable. And I've always said that vulnerable people on the planet are the strongest people you will ever meet. People who share their experience, even online, who are open, right? Because now you realize a secret. It takes more strength to be open than it does to be closed. Slow motion this side. More strength to be open than it does to be closed. So when I used to disrespect myself, I was very closed. And I didn't really want to share. That was a long time ago, obviously, right? But when I was starting to self-respect myself, moving into that self-respecting mentality, I started to realize how important my story was, how important my journey was, and how important the message was, and how important what I had was. Self-respecting people always place value on their story, and they get it out there, right? The whole world needs to hear it. But if you are disrespecting yourself, then you're like, well, I'm so insignificant. Whatever I say doesn't matter. And that's why self-respecting people have great levels of self-love, right? The secret of self-love is, in essence, the secret of becoming your greatest version. Now, number 8, self-respecting people don't tolerate BS from nobody. Well, they do sometimes, but especially their friends. Like if you got friends who are just totally stepping on your shoes and stuff, you just bought them, like treating you like trash. Sometimes people don't even listen to what you have to say. They can't even wait to talk. Self-respecting people surround themselves with people who actually give a damn about them. How about that? So look at your close circle. I'm not talking about online, just your friends. I'm talking about people who you actually meet. Do they actually take time to listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth? Or is it all about them? So self-respecting people are always in relationships which are highly reciprocal. Number 9. That job, which means just over broke. Yeah, self-respecting people never work. They never work in jobs which they don't like, which disrespect them, which are offensive to them. And for a long time, I used to work in a just over broke kind of job, right? And it was terrible. because I knew I was getting I was the carpet. But as I began to grow with more respect for myself, I said, I'm never going to do that again. I am never going to do that again. And guess what? They didn't see me again. And I didn't even see them. And I don't even know what these people look like. And it feels fantastic, right? Right now, I don't have a job. I got a lifestyle. And that's what self-respecting people are always doing. They're moving into their lifestyle where they don't have a job. Whatever they do daily promotes their health. Their job is not a job. It's a therapy. Slow motion this side. It is promoting. They are respecting their health through their lifestyle every single day. Now, number 10 is this. Self-respecting people always don't take themselves too seriously. See, that's the catch. You would think that self-respecting people are always so serious, but I've actually found really people who respect themselves, they're not so offended if people say, oh, you're this and that, right? Because they know who they are. They have a great sense of who they are, and that's why they respect themselves. If you don't respect yourself, I could come along, or the cat down the road could come along and say, I don't like you, and you're going to be really butthurt at that, right? But if you are in that process of self-respecting yourself, you're whatever. Whatever you say about me is not a reflection of me. It is a reflection of you. And there you have it in a nutshell. But more so, self-respecting people always say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? There. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. We are out here in the heart of nature. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana. Have a beautiful day. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. Stay well. Stay healthy. Peace. You!